Hello everyone, welcome to the semifinals of the Airthings Masters 2022. Right, we will feature a game between Ian Nepo and Andrei Estepenko. And by the way, it's going to be a rematch of the World Championship match between Nepo and Carlsen in the finals of the Airthings Masters 2022. That will be very, very exciting. Who will come out on top? But before that, let's take a look at how Nepo won the semis against Andrei. Alright, here was a critical game in game number 3. Nepo white, e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c4. Pasta Italiana once again, as always, Italian in the house, baby. c3, knight into f6, d3, alright. The Italian, the ever famous Italiana. d6, castles, rook into e1, a5. Estepenko is inviting Nepo to go bishop g5, and he went for it. h6, bishop h4, g5. Now we go into complications. Okay, an interesting line here would be knight takes g5, which is a possibility also. Takes, but king goes to g7. If you play like queen to f3, for example, to attack this one, this rook h8. So the sacrifice of g5 does not work in this case, except for if the knight is on c3 and go knight d5. Yep. All right, so bishop went back to g3, knight into h7, d4. When the opponent attacks, when the opponent attacks in the flank, counter in the middle. Okay, that's an important principle, by the way. h3, stopping g4, h5, knight bd2, h4, bishop h2, g4. All right, we have a fight. Estepenko was in a massive situation here because Nepo won game number 2. So takes, bishop into e2, blocking the pin. Queen into f6, knight c4, knight, 2 knights, bishop hitting the e5 pawn. Takes on f3, knight into g5, knight e3, very calm. Takes on d4, knight e5. Repositioning the knight, centralizing it, attacking the f6 queen. Queen g7. Alright, an x-ray on the king. Bishop g4, takes on c3, takes on c3, knight e5. Nice knights, by the way. Takes on e5, takes on e5, bishop f5. Alright. Knight on d5 and bishop on f5. And here, Estepenko, rook a e8. The first mistake. It's not yet decisive, but okay, when a piece is centralized, you normally go for c6 to drive it away. Yeah. Maybe he was worried about queen h5 threatening the knight and h7 as well, but he has bishop takes f2. If king takes on f2, queen g3 check protects the knight. Yes, king goes back to g1 or anywhere, and then c takes d5. Okay, let's take a look at rook e8, queen h5, same thing. Queen to g7, king f1, moving out of the pin. c6, too late. It is too late. Now we have knight f4. Okay, if we take a look at earlier, queen h5, for example, right? Okay, sorry, c6, queen h5, and then takes on f2, king takes f2, takes. There's no time for the knight to move back, right? Because of the series of checks. Compared to when you play the rook on e8, queen goes to h5, queen g7. After c6, we have knight f4 because queen also moved away from that f4 square. So d5, e takes d5, bishop e8 hitting the knight. Here Nepo went for the simple queen takes h4, but he could have ended the game on the spot with a beautiful knight into 6. Sorry. Rook takes e8 first, and then knight into e6. So that's it. That could have ended the game right here. Well, the main point being is that the queen is pinning that rook on e8. Yep. You're hitting the queen, you're hitting the knight. This is force, and then d takes e6. Now you have to protect f7 because pawn takes and then bishop g6. Yep. If you go rook f8 to protect f7, the rook goes to d1. You cannot take on e6 because the bishop takes with a check. And the rook d7 is coming up. Or just the simple takes, rook takes f7, and then rook d8. There's also e7 and rook d8. Choose your poison. If you go for bishop to c7, rook to d7, what else can you do? Nothing. Okay, but anyways, queen takes h4 is also winning. The simple way to win. Queen takes f4, to take d5, rook a1, queen into f6, queen g4, maintaining the pin, extra pawn, takes e8, rook takes e8, rook takes d5, and the final blunder, although here maybe black could still save the game, maybe with queen h6. Yep. But endgame, if it takes, let's say bishop h7 takes, extra pawn, could be decisive, yeah. But all rook endings are drawn, so could have been a draw and try to win the last game, tie, not sure. But with knight e4, queen takes e4, black resigned, right? If rook takes e4, we have rook d8 check. You go back to f8, rook takes f8 check first. After that, take the rook, game over. And with that, we have a mouth-watering finals in the Airthings Masters 2022. The rematch of the World Championship between Carlsen and Nepo. Will Nepo take his revenge? We'll find out tomorrow for the finals of the Airthings Masters 2022. Alright, thank you for watching. Thanks for supporting our channel, Chess Much Chess, on Facebook and YouTube. I'll see you tomorrow for the finals. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.